Hello lovely Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I am back just a couple of days after previously filming, but that was a Flosstube extra for you. This is my regular mid-month update and I am right on schedule because it is the 15th of August. This is the last day that I am child-free. The children have been away for 4 nights, 3 days with my parents. They are due to arrive back to us around 2:30. So I thought that in this last few hours of a peaceful house, I will get this filmed because tomorrow will not be an option. Today I have one finish to share with you. So I have had one finish in this first couple of weeks of August. I have also worked on 3 other whips. Quite a varied mix, so I have 4 lovely projects to share with you. I also have my subscription box from the Black Needle Society to give you a little peek at. I will obviously do that at the end, so if you are just here for the stitching, all the stitching will be done first and I will get to that a little bit later. And lastly, I also would like to do some shout outs, but again, we will get to those at the end. We will start today with my finish. So I have had a single finish since I last saw you, and that is my little Christmas crab. So this is from the Warmest Wishes Christmas book, which I've shown you several times. And I was working on the little crab design by Emma Congdon. And here he is finished. Isn't he absolutely adorable? I love everything about him. He's got his little presents, candy canes, little bauble here, the stars here, which I'm taking to be starfish, but they could also just be Christmas stars, and then Santa Claus. So I am really super happy with how he has turned out. I was stitching him on 25 count, 2/1. So I think my stitches do look very nice and quite full with the 2 strands on the 25 count. And this is, this is Splash Fabric by Zweigart in the like beige colourway. And I thought that was really a nice fabric for him because it's like a sandy colour. And obviously he is a crab, so it's like being on a beach, but then he is a Christmas crab. And all the little white splashes do make it look like it is snowing. So very pleased with my fabric choice for this, very pleased with how he has turned out. He's not very large. I know there's no tape measure here on the screen, so you can't really get a reference for his size. I'll put my hand here, like he's really not very big whatsoever. He's like as tall as my little finger. And I think he would be really lovely finished into some kind of ornament. So that is definitely on the to-do list to do at some point before Christmas. I would like to get him displayed for December this year. That will be lovely. So that is my finish. Mr. Christmas Crab, or Santa Claus. I'm very happy with him, very happy. I've then got 3 works in progress to share with you. The first one is my Mill Hill stitching bird. I have been working on this quite frequently, but I also have to be careful because it's on the perforated paper. I can't put it in any kind of frame, so I have to hold it with my left hand, and I do have a tendency to have my hand cramp up. I don't know if anyone else gets that if they're working in hand. I never work in hand on fabric projects, but with the perforated paper I don't have a choice. So I'm quite close to a finish on this now. This is what it looked like last time you saw it, and you will see hopefully a big difference. I am getting to the point with this now, I'll show you, where the vast majority of the stitching is complete. There are still little bits of stitching to complete here and there, but a lot of the missing areas at this point are the beading, which I'm trying to save all the beading until the end. So at the moment, as I'm referring to my chart, I keep coming across symbols and I'm like, yes, I'll stitch that one next. And I'm like, I can't stitch that one next because it's actually beads. I'm hunting around at this point for the missing stitches, but obviously that's a good sign that I'm getting close to the end. Just give you a bit of a zoom in. So since you last saw it, I have done some of the single strand back stitch to make these lines of pink stitch into actual words. So I've done stitch, and I've still got the ing to do with the back stitch. This flower is taking shape. Done quite a lot of the grey over here, finished the green at the bottom. There's a little bit of sky still to fill in. But I'm really getting there, and this very easily could have been another finish to share with you today if I had been able to just carry on working on it. If it was on fabric, it would be a finish because I would have just ploughed forward, but I worked on it for quite a number of hours on consecutive days at the beginning of the month, and my left hand really did start to feel it. So I then put this down and decided to work on some other bits. But I am going to carry on with this just in small doses, and I'm hopeful that it might be an August finish. We will see. We will see. It would be really nice to finish this for August because it is so very close. I just have to see how I'm feeling because, yeah, that left hand, if I overdo it, I really do feel it, and then it's just uncomfortable and it aches and it hurts. So I am trying to go easy on that project. My next whip to share with you is my Nadezdha Gavrilinkova Koi Dragon. It is a stunning, beautiful piece. I absolutely adore it. And this is what it looked like last time you saw it, and I'm just going to check that it's the right way around because I did realise after posting my last regular Flosstube, I'd used a picture of me holding this project as the image for the video, and I was holding it upside down. So let's just check. Yes, we are the right way up today. That is a good start. And my board that I hold at the back isn't quite big enough for this project, so this side is hanging over the board. So you're getting a bit of the light coming through, but hopefully you can see how it's looking. I've made some lovely progress on this. My aim last time I saw you was to fill in from this side over, and I have been doing that. There were lots of little gaps like here and there, and they've just all been filled in. I'm getting closer and closer to everything being filled as I move along to the right. Done quite a lot of work at the bottom as well. I cannot get enough of this project. It is just beautiful, stunning colours. I say it every time I show this to you, I say how much I love the colours. But I really do, and the black is just beautiful with all these bright oranges and yellows. Gorgeous project. I'm very much looking forward to what it will look like once it has been backstitched, but at the same time, I think quite a lot of the backstitch on this pattern is in white, and I'm not a huge fan of backstitching in white. I don't know why, I just find it more difficult than backstitching with black thread. I think especially if it calls for like double strands, I think that white double-stranded backstitch can sometimes look messy. So we'll see what happens when I get to that part. But I have hit the milestone of the 50% that I was aiming for on this, so that is a really nice achievement. I then carried on, and I think I've taken this whip to around 52% now, or just over. Last time you saw it, it was on like 46–47%. So yes, I've done about somewhere between 3 and 4% since you saw this a few weeks ago, and I'm super proud of that because that is quite a lot of stitches on a project this size. I did work it out, but it's gone from my mind, but I'm pretty sure to achieve 1%, I need to be stitching something around 300 and something stitches or thereabouts. So even if we round it down to 300, that is quite a lot of stitching to get 4 or 5% done in 2 weeks. So super happy with the progress on that. I'm stitching this on Black Ada, it's 14 count, and all the threads that I'm using are CXC. I've just realised that I didn't tell you what threads I was using for the previous 2 that I held up, so very quickly, for consistency, My little crab is stitched in Royal Broidery, and my mill hill is being stitched using all the kit supplied things. There, I feel better now. I always find it, yeah, it upsets me if I mention certain details for some projects and forget to mention them on others. It bothers me. My last project to share with you today is a really beautiful design by Cottage Needleworks, and I've been working on this more recently. I started it quite a while ago with Charlie Feathers. It is Welcome to the Forest. We started it as a sal together. We both did a little bit of work on it, and then we both sort of put it away and moved on to shinier, newer things. I've pulled mine back out, and compared to when you last saw it, I have again made some nice progress. The top is entirely complete now, that top box with the Welcome to the Forest banner. Also, I realised that these little butterflies, so they're on both sides, but the little butterflies, I had accidentally stitched them all with blue wings when 2 of them should have been pink, so I had a tiny bit of frogging to do just to change these ones to pink. And then that box is complete other than French knots. So the little toadstools here, again on either side, are supposed to have little white dots on them that are done by French knots. I don't shy away from French knots. I've done plenty of projects where they are called for, and I've done them quite happily. However, I did put a few French knots into one of these, and I didn't like the way that it looked. So for now, even though this box is complete, I'm leaving the French knots. And there are more French knots called for in this box. So the next one I started on was the little deer. And again, more French knots on these toadstools. I'm leaving all of them for now, pretending they're not there. And when this project is complete, other than French knots, I'm then going to maybe have a look through my bead stash and see if I have any very tiny white beads, because I'm thinking just for this particular project, maybe beads would look a bit better. I just didn't like the way that the knots were looking. I just didn't like it. But yes, some lovely progress on this. I'm also opting to stitch the full border that goes round all the patterns, and I have done all of the top now. It didn't have any leaves on it last time you saw, but that is now all done. Carried on with the borders down the sides a little bit, and the little deer box is my main progress since you've last seen it. I was having a bit of a nightmare working on this yesterday because I had done all of the green on here. I hadn't done the flowers, but I'd done all of the green, and just as I got to the very last stitch, I realised that I'd started it 1 stitch too far away from the border on this side. So by the time I got to the other side, I was too close to the border and I couldn't fudge it. So yes, all the green had to be pulled out. And at the time I was having a little chat with my lovely friend Tan, who is the monogamous stitcher here on Flosstube. And yes, I realised my mistake while I was mid-flow through a little voice note to her. So she had to listen to me ranting about it. And then she was like, I hope that you've not made a mistake because we were chatting. I was like, no, it's not you. I was like, I made the mistake with the first stitch with where I started, which was before we were even chatting. But she then cheered me on while I was frogging it in real time. And then I put it back in. So all is well. And then I finished all the flowers. All the stitching in this little box is now actually done. So all I need to do to finish this box is just complete the white border and join it up here, and then I will be on to box 2. And I'm not sure what that one is. It will be another animal. I do have all the patterns here, but I'm going to have to duck to pick them up. I know I've put a screenshot previously with like the mock-up for you to see. I do have all the patterns here, but obviously they're all individual, so it's so awkward. But I've done the welcome banner and the little deer so far, which is this one. So the 3 animals that I have left to do are the fox and the raccoons. and the bear. And I'm not sure which one sits next to the deer, but I'm going to find out very soon when I refer to that screenshot that I put up for you. I will find out which one to move on to next, and then the ones that will go in the middle of all the animals as the third row down are the two little house boxes. So those are all the ones I've got left to do. And this project is now moving along quite quickly. I'm stitching this on nostalgia fabric. So this is a nostalgia print on linen from my own Stitch Bunny shop, and I believe I'm doing it on 32 count. I'm fairly confident that it's a, let's have a look. Yeah, it is a 32 count. So this is on 32 count fabric, and I love this print. Under this lighting, it probably just looks pretty much white. It isn't, it's a really nice neutral. Very subtle, but definitely not white, and I do love it. I was going to say my last project to share with you. That is my last project to share with you. That's everything. So, not a huge number of projects, but I've tried not to jump around too much. And it has only been 2 weeks since my last update. So, 4 projects, 2 weeks. They've all had a pretty similar amount of time spent on them. So yeah, I've just been trying to work on one thing for a couple of days, then put it away, get a new one out. I think I've made nice progress on all of them. If you are only here for the stitching, that is everything I have to share with you, and thank you so much for watching. If you are comfortably settled and stitching yourselves and you want to carry on listening to me chat for a bit, I'm now going to share with you my Black Needle Society box. So I applied to be a rep for the Black Needle Society a little while ago now. I think it's coming up to 6 months ago. I just thought it would be fun, and obviously it's always nice to get some nice cross-stitching goodies. So I have my latest box here to share with you. The boxes are always the same, so you've seen these before, but this is my Stitching Under the Stars box, and let's have a little look inside together at what I have. So we have the leaflet here, which just tells you which box it is. It is the Stitching Under the Stars box. On the back there are some reading recommendations to match the theme, so I think that's a nice touch. The books that are recommended are called The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern and Stardust by Neil Gaiman. So 2 nice books with a starry theme. And then inside we have all the info for the items in this box, and a sneak peek at the theme for the next box. So not trying to detract from the stars box that we are about to look in, but the next box has a nature and elements theme, and to me that is super exciting. So I'm excited to look through this one first, but I am really, really excited for the theme of the next box. So what do I have? There is a mixture of stitchy and non-stitchy items. The first thing that I am pulling out, because I'm just pulling them out as they come, is this rather large tote bag, and it says, "I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night." That is a Sarah Williams quote, apparently. And yeah, that is a lovely print. It's a nice strong canvas bag. There's no zippers, no closures. Just an open bag, but this would probably be quite useful for me to take to a retreat, just to slip my projects into in my nerd hoops, because it is larger than a nerd frame. It could probably fit a fair few of them in there, so that is a useful bag. Next is sort of stitchy related. It is fabric, but it is not an Aida or an even weave or a linen. It is a finishing fabric. And it is a gold metallic print of moons and sort of stardust on a lovely purple background. So yeah, really like this. Also, it's almost October, and it's like not overtly Halloween, but obviously it would be nice for finishing off numerous Halloween projects. So nice piece of finishing fabric there, I like that. Got some speciality floss. And these all have a star theme in terms of the names. These are by Fiberlicious hand-dyed floss, and we have Ursa Major, which is this purple shade. Lots of different tones in there, really nice. The next one is the Milky Way. Gorgeous blues with some green in there too, really lovely. And the last one is like a very big difference in shades, and this is Shooting Stars with greys and pinks and peach, and some of the pink in there is actually quite bright, so that is extremely variegated. I'll have to have a little think about what that can be used for, because I get a bit scared of flossers that have extreme variegation. But yes, 3 lovely colours. I definitely love these two with the more subtle variegation, and this one I love the colours in it, but I'm just not sure what I will use it for, but it is very, very pretty. So that is the threads. Just trying to keep a little bit organised by packing away as I go. Oh, the next item is a bit crinkly, so I apologise, and this is a neck light. It seems to be battery operated. It's got the little compartment here to put your batteries in, so yeah, it's not a charging one, it's just a battery one. I've not put any batteries in it yet. It's got little buttons on here, which I assume will alter the colour of the light, probably warm light, cool light, and brightness levels, I'm guessing. Yes, that is the neck light. Next item, oh, my box is about to fall over. My next item is a really pretty sort of, I want to say keyring, but it's not a keyring. It comes with this, which is just really like a mini floss ring if you were having floss drops. So that's the little ring, and then it comes with this charm. So I'm assuming that the idea is that you hang this charm, which is glaring in the light. You hang this charm on the ring as like a bit of a ring bling, and then you can have your floss drops on there as well. And it's very difficult to show you this because it is just so gold and shiny. It is picking up all the light, but it says on it Stardust and Stitches, and it is like a little shop front. I just cannot get the camera to pick up all the details, but in the shop windows there are like little stars and stardust fragments. Yes, very cute. Stardust and Stitches shop. Little ring bling with a ring. And that did come in this pretty gold bag. Next item is a needle minder. And I have had a sneak peek through this box. This is not the first time I am seeing everything. It's just that I'm just sharing it with you, so I'm going back through it all, and I do love this needle minder. So this is based on like Neverland, Peter Pan sort of theme. This is the needle minder. So it's got the ship going through the clouds in the sky, and around the rim it reads, "Second star to the right and straight on till morning," which is a familiar quote that I think you'll all know from childhood. Next item are some wooden floss drops. They are incredibly thin, so like at first glance you just think that they are made of card or paper, but actually they are made of wood. You can see the grain on the back there if I go close to the camera, and they have the Van Gogh print on that I'm sure everyone is very familiar with. I really like these. They've got the big hole cut out at the bottom, and then I've not popped them out yet, but they do have the small hole. I'll just try and pop one out. There we go. They do have the small hole at the top, and there's 5 of them there in that set, and they will definitely fit on that little gold ring that I already showed you with the ring bling to make a nice starry themed set. So they are very pretty. Would have to use them for a small project with few colours, but they are very lovely. Next item in the box is this sort of Galaxy Swirly Star Printed Microfiber Cloth. And yes, it's actually a very nice print. It's very silky, very soft. And yeah, although I probably wouldn't go out and like buy one of these, it is actually something that you always need. And I constantly find, because I work from my tablet for all my stitching, my tablet does get terribly dusty because it is out all the time attached to my stitching stand. And I'm always like, when the light catches it, it's always getting dusty. So I am actually going to stick this, now that I've shared it, I'm going to stick it in my little sort of stitching essential supplies box so that I always have it to hand for my, my tablet screen. It will be useful. Just having a little rummage to check that I've not missed anything. I haven't, so these are the last two items. This is a little star-shaped stress ball. My kids will love this, so I will not get a look in. As soon as they are home, this will get stolen. That's very cute, very squishy. Yes, Hadley and Daisy will definitely love playing with this, so I'm going to donate that to them. They will love it. And the last thing in this box, I'll just put the box down. The last thing in this box is a beautiful pattern. I am going to take it out of the packet so that you can see it properly without the glare. This is a lovely pattern by the Blue Flower. Look at it. It is called Starry Owl. And I was so excited when I pulled this out of the box. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? This pattern calls for mostly DMC, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DMCs. There are 2 weeks dye works and 1 cottage garden thread. Beautiful pattern. Here, I will just give you a little look at the back actually, just for reference for the threads. So these are the supplies that I needed. And I just love this. It is absolutely gorgeous. It reads, "Night comes and stars their wonted vigils keep in soft, unfathomable depths of sky." And I love this, and I just love an owl pattern in general. I love owls. I love owl patterns. Beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. And the model is stitched on 40 count linen. I'm not sure that that is what I will use, but I am definitely 100% stitching this at some point. It is gorgeous. And again, we are coming up to October, and not that this is by any means a Halloween pattern, but with the moon and all the stars and stuff, it would be quite a nice stitch for Halloween and for October if you don't actually like stitching overtly Halloween patterns. Yeah, I really like this. So that is everything in my box. Hope you've enjoyed having a little look through that. Black Needle Society are obviously US based. So if you are based in the US, you are very lucky that you can subscribe to their boxes or pick up items from the vault without a big shipping charge. So if you like any of these items and you don't receive the full boxes, they do put any spare things into the vault. So if you like that pattern, the needle minder, any of the bits, you will be able to find any spares that they have in the vault for individual purchase. And yeah, if you're in the UK like I am, obviously there is a bit of a shipping fee to pay, but if there's a few things that you like in the vault, at least you can stock up and buy things all at once so that you only have to pay one shipping. So that is everything. Now, I did just want to do a couple of shout outs before I leave you today. I'm a bit guilty of not always remembering to do this part, and it is a big part of Flosstube, acknowledging when others have shouted you out and letting other people know what you've been watching, what you've been enjoying. My Flosstube viewing has been a bit reduced in recent months because we've had an incredibly busy time, a lot going on. So I still need to catch up with quite a few people that I usually watch regularly. However, with the kids having been gone for a few days and we've had a bit more time to relax, I have done a lot more Flosstube viewing. I have watched some of my favourites, but I wanted to really focus today on telling you about some new people that I have discovered. Okay, I'm back in the room. I did just want to gather myself together and get my phone to hand because I don't want to make any mistakes with people's names. The first new floss tuber that I have been watching recently is Stitched by Imi. So Imi is on Instagram, you can find her on Instagram, and that is how I just saw a post pop up that she has started a floss tube. So her first video was 3 weeks ago. I will see if my phone will show up. I don't know if it will. There we go. Sort of. So Stitched by Imi. She has 2 videos at the moment. I've watched the first one. I didn't actually realise she had a second one. So I've watched her first video, really enjoyed it. Some lovely stitching, and she's very relaxed in front of the camera, really soothing voice, nice to watch. So really, really enjoyed that first episode. And now I've got a second episode to watch. So yes, yeah, lovely new channel from Imi. The next person that I have really recently discovered is Catherine Allen. So her name is Catherine's Stitching Chronicles. That's Catherine with K. Now I'll show you on here again if my phone will cooperate. So Catherine Allen. She has 1 episode out so far, floss tube number 1. And yeah, that was a whip parade, which I really enjoyed. So yes, those are the 2 sort of brand new to flosstubers that I have found and watched in the last couple of days. Really enjoyed both. I would also like to give a mention to my friend Jess, and I will just double check what her channel name is on here. So Jess is brand new to flosstube. Jess is lovely. I have met her at retreats and Stitchy days, and yes, so this is Jess's channel, Cross Stitch. Jess is just her name on YouTube, her new YouTube name, and she has 1 video so far, and I haven't actually watched it yet because she's literally only just uploaded it. I think it might have been last night, and it was quite late, and I was getting some sleep in the bank while I'm able to, while the kids have been off, been getting some extra rest. So I haven't watched Jess yet, but she's on my watch list, and yes, go and support Jess and her new channel as well. I'm sure it will be a lovely episode. What else? So I've been catching up with some of my favourites, some of my regulars as well. I've recently watched Teresa Little Stitcher. I've watched Emma at Emma X Stitchers. Yeah, both of those were lovely episodes. Chloe at Penguin Cross Stitch. I'm just scrolling on here to remind myself of who I've watched recently. Chloe at Penguin Cross Stitch. I always enjoy Chloe's videos, so I was pleased to see that there was a new one of those for me to watch. Who else have I caught up with? Oh, another new floss tuber, or like new to me definitely, and I think also new to flosstube. Comfort Stitching. So Comfort Stitching has been on flosstube for like 2 months, and I had not discovered them until really recently. But it is Jackie at Comfort Stitching. You can find her flosstube here. Her name is there on the screen. And lovely videos, beautiful relaxing intros, and so far I have watched about 1.5 of those videos. Absolutely lovely to stitch along to. So yes, I just wanted to do a few shout outs because all the time I'm constantly watching bits of flosstube here and there, and then by the time I get to recording a video, by the time I get to the end of showing the stitching and then showing any haul, usually my battery's about to die, which it has done today, but I had another one that was fully charged luckily, so I just switched it out. But yes, it's not that I don't watch other flosstubers, I do, but I just have a habit of either forgetting or running out of battery at the end of the video and being like, oh, I'll do it next time, and then next time comes and the same thing happens. So I just wanted to make a little mention today of a few people I've watched recently and enjoyed, and I will aim to try and remember in every episode to do my little shout outs. I don't think I have anything else to share with you today other than a very quick whip go update, which I probably should have given you when I was doing the stitching, but never mind. If you are still here, my whip go goals for the month of August that got called were 1 FFO, yes, so to fully finish something, and also to do 5 hours of stitching on a project that is already 50% complete, and the project that I selected for that was my stitching bird. So I did 5 hours on my stitching bird because it was already 50% complete, hence the lovely progress, because it's not a very big project and I've done at least 5 hours to tick off my whip go. That is everything from me today. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to watch me and have a look at my stitching. If you are not a subscriber and you've enjoyed this video, please click the button and subscribe. It is always appreciated, as are any comments. I will always try and reply to every single comment. Sometimes as they actually come through on my phone, I might not have time to reply there and then, but I will always give you a little heart to let you know that I've read them, and I do try and come back later on and I do try and reply to everyone before I put out another video. Take care, guys. Happy stitching. I hope you all get some lovely stitching done in the next couple of weeks before I see you again. And also, isn't it exciting that summer is nearly over? Might be a bit of a strange thing to say that I'm looking forward to poorer weather and darker nights. The one good thing about summer is that it is light into the evening for better evening stitching, but at the same time, sometimes it's too warm, so I don't even want to stitch, and my kids sometimes are more difficult to get to bed in summer because it's still light, and they're like, "Mummy, it's not bedtime, the sun is still shining." And I'm like, "Yes, but it's summer. The sun will still be shining till, like, it'll still be light in your room till 9, 10 o'clock. You're still going to bed." Whereas in winter, or as we start approaching into autumn and into winter, we do need to have our stitching lights on to be able to stitch, but my kids go to bed so much easier. So I actually, if anything, get like more stitching time. And during the daytimes, if I can grab any moments, you don't have to feel guilty about sitting indoors and stitching because there's nothing exciting to go and do outside. So yes, I'm super excited for the pending autumn that is almost here. Very excited. Gonna get cozied up with blankets, start wearing jumpers and stuff again, because these clothes will be going away for another year in the not too distant future, and I cannot wait just to have some lovely cozy stitching time. Take care. I think I've already said that. I got sidetracked, but take care everyone, and I will see you again very soon. Happy stitching.